Hi guys, welcome to Yoga for Mountain Bikers. Today we're going to explore a sequence working on the upper back, thoracic spine. We spend a lot of our time in flexion when we're riding. Attack position brings the shoulders right forwards. So we're going to work today to open up through the shoulders, eventually working it into a back bend called wheel pose. For today's class you're going to need a couple of yoga blocks or two things that are roughly the same height and about this high. So I actually sometimes use my water bottles that I pop on the bike. Those work quite well. Have them filled though, because you want them to have a little bit of weight to them. All right, let's start our practice lying down on the back. Bring the feet hip width apart. I'm going to start with some work to fire up the glutes here. To come safely into back bends, we need really strong glutes. We also want nice strong glutes and quads, particularly when we're riding up the trail. Okay. Bring light pressure into the soles of the feet. Push the floor away with the soles of the feet. Raise the thighs up towards the ceiling. Squeeze the glutes here, squeeze the inner thighs, the adductors lightly towards each other, as if you were holding a glass tennis ball. Bring the hands to the hip bones. I want you to lightly press down and push up at the same time, finding resistance. So increasing the load here for the glutes and quads. Lift the toes, keep the toes lifted. As you exhale, just lower the toes down, float the arms all the way overhead. Lift up a little higher, pressure increases into the scapulas, the shoulder blades. As you lower, I want you to lower through the shoulder blades, thoracic spine, low back, and then the glutes. Bring the arms all the way back down. Inhale, push the floor away. Lift the hips, lengthen thighs. Hands to hips. Push down, press up. Breathing here. Gently holding that glass tennis ball between the thighs. Good. Raise the arms overhead. Press up a little higher. Exhale, rolling down through the spine, lengthening the tailbone away from you. Arms come down. Last time. Inhale, lift up, press up. Hands to hips. Find that resistance work here for 3, 2, 1. Reach the arms overhead. As you exhale, super slow, slower than the glutes want to go. You're going to roll all the way down. Draw one knee in towards you, wrap and squeeze, followed by the other. Rock the knees side to side, forwards and back. Gradually coming up to a seated position, crossing the calves over. We're going to come from here into a kneeling position, sitting the glutes down on the heels. Inhale, reach the arms up towards the ceiling, palms touch. As you exhale, turn the palms away from you, sweep the arms down by your hips. Keep the palms out, inhale, reach up, and then draw the palms in towards each other, palms touch. Good. 2 more. Exhale, sweep down. Palms stay externally rotated, inhale, reach up, and exhale, draw them together. Good, last time. Breathe in. Good, and breathe out. Bring the hands all the way back down to the chest. And grab your blocks. Bring your right foot forwards. Knee over ankle. Move my block to here and you can just see a little bit clearer as we come into this. So as you inhale, I want you to let your weight come forwards, knee extends past the toes. Squeeze the back glutes. If you tuck the back toes under, that might help you a little more to engage the back leg. As you exhale, Rock the weight back. Hips stay level, toes lift, press into the heel. And then work with the breath. Inhale, come forwards, lift the chest, squeeze the glutes. Exhale, roll back and round out. Two more. As you inhale, lift, shrug the shoulder blades back and down. As you exhale and round, tuck the chin to chest, try and keep those hips level. As you inhale this time, exhale, bring the knee back over the ankle, hands to hips, strongly draw the pelvis up and lengthen the tailbone down. Good. Inhale, the left arm lifts. Exhale, bring it across the front thigh. Opposite hand sweeps up, circle it back, watch the fingers as they move to the back of the mat. Squeeze that back shoulder blade down towards the hips. Breathing here. As you inhale, reach the back arm up, front arm follows, look forwards, two arms reaching towards the ceiling. Good. Exhale, bring the hands to the chest. We're going to float the front leg, that's quite hard to say, to the back leg. So lift up front foot and see if you can hover here, either tapping the toe to the floor or letting the upper body move to keep that leg lifted. Good. As you exhale, you're going to bring that foot back, two knees, side by side. Okay. Opposite leg, step it forwards. Bring the hands to the blocks. Taking an inhale, let the weight gently fold forwards, knee past ankle, back glutes squeezing. As you exhale, front leg straightens, lift the toes, rock the hips back, tuck chin to chest. Moving with your breath. Coming into extension through the upper back each time you inhale, and flexion each time you exhale. Let's make this next exhale our last. Good. As you inhale, come forwards, stack front knee over ankle, bring hands to hips. Draw the pelvis up, lengthen, tailbone down. Inhale, raise your right arm, bring it across that front thigh. Opposite arm sweeps up, circle it back, watching the fingertips as you go if balance will allow. And squeeze the back shoulder blade down to the hips. Breathing here. Inhale, reach the back arm up. Look forwards, two arms reaching to the ceiling. Exhale, bring the hands to the chest. Going to float the front foot to the back foot. Perhaps releasing the arms to help stabilize as you hover here. And then exhale, two knees side by side. Pop your blocks to one side. Untuck the toes. Sit the glutes back on the heels. Reach the arms in front of you and then reach them away again. Spread the fingers and thumbs really wide, first finger facing forwards. We're going to tuck the toes under and then sit the glutes back on the heels. Can you come into downward facing dog here without the weight coming forward? So just unraveling the legs into your downward facing dog. Breathing here, knees can be soft. I'm going to take a little flow from here. So I want you to try and roll forwards through plank, but really try and roll through the vertebrae in the spine. As you exhale, bend the knees towards the floor, lead with the sit bones, and lift it up. Rolling forwards, exhale to lift. Have a little play. Try and get as much mobility through the spine here. So we're trying to pump the spinal fluid as we move through our plank to down dog. Good. Last exhale, push the sit bones up. Good. Rolling all the way forwards now into plank. Push the heels back, lengthen the collarbones forwards. I want you to try and drag the heels towards the toes. The hands aren't going to move. I want you to find that resistance in the core and then lower with control all the way down to the mat. Good. Bring the hands into cobra position here. Fingertips in line with shoulders. Forehead can be on the floor for a moment. Tuck the tailbone under posterior pelvic tilt. I want you to reach your arms to the back of the mat, making stop signs as they go. So feel free to look towards the camera, check out what's happening here with my hands. Inhale, I'm just skimming the palms across the floor as my fingers come back towards my shoulders. Exhale, skimming the mat, pressing the hands back. Good. So there's flexion and extension through the elbows. Palms stay flexed the whole time. And now I'm going to try and lift my ribs a little higher. You're going to take 3 more here. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. Last exhale, press back through the heel of the hands. Lift a little higher for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, bring the hands back down onto the floor. One cheek to the mat. Right, let's relax our arms by our hips. And rock the hips side to side. Good. Make your way back to extended child's pose from here. Let's have the knees together, reaching the arms away from you. Relax the head. Tuck the toes under. Sit the weight back and see if you can unravel the legs. So just push the sit bones up towards the ceiling. Feet hip width apart. And breathing here in your downward facing dog. And on your next inhale, walk to the top of the mat. Come into a forward fold. Feet a little wider than the rib cage. Take the elbows with the hands. Draw the elbows down towards the floor. Exhale, release the hands. Inhale, roll up to stand. Reach the arms out wide, up high. Find the palms overhead. Exhale, long body, hinge from the hips, forward fold. Release the hands, chin to chest. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins or fingers to floor. Exhale, fold. Lift the backs of the thighs. Inhale, halfway lift, squeeze navel to spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back to your plank. Press through heels, lengthen through sternum. Traction between heel of hands to toes. Exhale as you lower. Inhale, cobra, strong feet, light hands. Exhale, push the glutes back to the heels. Lengthen the legs, downward facing dog. Breathing in and breathing out. Inhale, look forwards, step forwards, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise up to stand, reach the arms up. Exhale, long body and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step the left leg back. Lighten up through the hands, shooting the fingertips towards the floor. Press firmly through the front heel. Lift the low belly off of the thigh. We're going to come through warrior two. So inhale, reach the left arm forward, sweep it back. Exhale, warrior two, back foot 45-degree angle. Push into the back leg, reach into the back arm. As you inhale, I want you to make stop signs with the hands, and exhale, press through the heel of the hands. Inhale, exhale here. On your next exhale, sweep the arms behind you, interlace all fingers and thumbs. Draw the knuckles back and down. You're going to shorten the back foot, a little shorter, a little wider. Spin the hips to the front edge of the mat. As you inhale, straighten both legs, reach the chest to the ceiling. As you exhale, lunge in the front leg. Lay the body down along that front thigh, reaching the knuckles back towards the back short edge of the mat. Relax the head, gaze out to the back leg. Exhale, release the hands. As you inhale and come up, grab one of your blocks. Rise on up to a high lunge. Lift the back heel. Keep the front knee stacked over the ankle. Block in portrait. You're going to bring that block behind the head. Top edge connects with the head, bottom edge with the top of the shoulder blades. Squeeze the hands into the side of the block. Squeeze the elbows towards each other. As you exhale, nod the back knee directly towards the floor. As you inhale, two straight legs, squeeze the glutes. And repeat, exhale. Inhale. Keep squeezing the elbows together. That back knee going down, not forwards. Don't worry if it doesn't touch the mat. Good. Bring the block in front of you. Bend through the front leg. Release the block. Step back. Downward facing dog. Take a breath in. And take a breath out. Inhale, look forwards. We're going to step the left leg forwards. Back foot 45-degree angle, rising up into warrior two. Lead with the right arm. Do what you can here to strengthen up through the back leg, the back arm. As you inhale, make stop signs. Exhale, press through the heel of the hand, spread the fingers and thumbs really wide. Good, even wider. Breathing here. Exhale, sweep the arms behind you, interlace fingers and thumbs. Shorten the back foot, a little wider, a little shorter. Spin the hips to the front edge of your mat. You're going to reach those knuckles back and down. Straighten the front leg, lift the chest. As you exhale, lunge into the front leg, long body. Laying it down towards that thigh, on the thigh or maybe inside the thigh. Rather than reaching the knuckles up to the ceiling, keep reaching them back. Maintain space in the shoulders here. Gaze releases to the back edge of the mat. Exhale, release the hands. Grab a block. Inhale, rise on up. High lunge. Back heel is lifted. Oh, playing with the balance here. Bring the block behind you. Portrait. Top edge to the back of the head, bottom edge to the tops of the shoulders. Squeeze the block, squeeze the elbows to one another. Now as you exhale, nod the back knee directly down. As you inhale, rise up and squeeze through the legs. Repeating that little flow. Inhale. Exhale, release the block. Bring the block down to the floor. Hands touch down. Runner's lunge. Strong front leg. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Breathing here. Good, lower the knees to the mat. Sit back on the heels, bring the hands to the thighs. Tuck the toes under, have the knees hip width apart here. We need to really focus on driving the tailbone down towards the floor and lifting up through the hip flexors, through the pelvis. Reach your arms out in front of you. Squeeze the glutes. As you exhale, I want you to take your weight back towards the heels, reaching fingers forwards, glutes back to the heels. When you're ready, inhale, come up. Exhale, go back. Most important thing here is to squeeze the glutes. Use the strength of the lower body to find that flexibility through the quads. Good. Last one here. Good. This time we're going to bring the arms overhead, biceps in line with ears. So if this is a little much here, then you can come back to that position of the arms facing forwards. Tuck the tailbone under, draw up through the pelvis, glutes engage. Just taking 3 here. As you exhale, drive the hips back. Keep the arms in line with the ears. Last one. Okay, bring the arms down. Keep the toes tucked under. Sit the glutes back on the heels. See if you can rock back into a crouch position. From here we're going to come into a supported squat. So you're going to take one of your blocks, maybe on the highest option if that's better for you, or a little lower. Bring the feet down a little wider than hip distance. Let me face this way so you can see a little more clearly. Good. Other block, bring it landscape way, between the palms, and then drop that behind your head. So you want to bring the top half of the block behind the head and the bottom half behind the neck. Good. Give you a moment there to get set up. As you inhale, you're going to open the thoracic spine up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, you're going to curl the elbows in towards each other, curl the chin to chest. Inhale, lift through the sternum, open the elbows, and then exhale, curl in. Good. This time as you come up, neutralize the spine. Bring your block into portrait, hands to the long edges of the mat, the block, sorry. And again, bring that to the back of the head and the top of the neck. So you want to position the heel of the hands onto the block, squeeze the elbows in line with the shoulders this time. Inhale, lift up through thoracic spine. Exhale, curl in. 2 more. Breathing in, reach up. And exhale. neutralize the spine. Bring your block down by your side. Remove the one from underneath your seat. Bring yourselves down onto the mat. You're going to grab one of your blocks. You're going to bring it landscape behind you. So I want it to sit across the shoulder blades towards the latter part of the shoulder blades. So your head will drop over the block onto the floor. Your thoracic spine will be doming around that block. If that feels too much for you, you could take a blanket or a towel instead and bring that underneath you. You could even roll the top sort of 2/3 of your mat up and use that instead. Have your feet hip width apart, knees under ankles. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Now as you exhale, curl the chin in towards the chest, reach the fingertips towards the knees, keep your scapulars rooted onto that block. As you exhale, take the hands overhead, keep chin tucked. As the arms come past the ears, open the chin to the ceiling. Good, 2 more like that. Inhale, roll in, chin to chest, reach up with the fingertips. Exhale, keep chin wrapped in, roll back and open the chin. Last time. Good. This time you're going to make stop signs. So reach your fingertips directly up to the ceiling and then make stop signs as if you were trying to push the ceiling away from you. So you should be looking at the backs of your hands right now, fingertips facing towards the back short edge of your mat. Take those fingertips down towards the floor, seeing if you can make stop signs to the floor, elbows now facing the ceiling. Now as you inhale, curl the chin to chest, make stop signs to the knees. As you exhale, roll back, make stop signs to the floor. Good, rolling in and up on the inhale and exhale, rolling back. Good, last time. Good, really nice. We're going to take this block out from underneath us by digging the elbows into the mat, walking the forearms down, taking the block out from underneath us. So we're going to bring all of that together now for our final pose, wheel pose. We're going to do it in stages so that we really use the mobility we've created in the thoracic spine rather than just pinching into the low back, the lumbar spine. So roll down onto your back. Bring your hands down by your ears, palms on the floor. Now that might be enough for you today, just trying to get the palms down with the elbows facing up towards the ceiling. If there's more than that, all I want you to do is push the floor away with the feet like we did at the very start of class and lift the hips up. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the inner thighs, and now press down really firmly with the feet and with the hands. Shoulder blades, back of head stay down. Stay here, or push the floor away and rise up onto the crown of the head. So now we have our body weight supported in 3 places. Feet, hands, head. If there's more than that, I want you to press through the feet, lift the thigh bones even higher, push the floor away with the hands, keeping the elbows squeezing together, coming into your wheel pose. Squeeze the glutes. To come out, lower the head towards the floor, slide the back of the head down, shoulder blades down, hips down, hands down by your hips. So a lot to take in. We're going to do that twice more with a little flow. Inhale, reach the hands to the ceiling, make stop signs. Exhale, bring your stop signs down to the mat next to the ears. Inhale, push the hips up, squeeze glutes. Exhale here. Inhale, push the floor down with the hands, bring the head down. Exhale here. Inhale, push up through the arms, the hands, reach the ribs up, squeeze the glutes. Exhale, bring the head down, roll the back of the head down, shoulders down, hips down, hands down. And last time, if you choose any variation, when you're ready, inhale, make those stop signs. Exhale, stop sides to the floor. Stay here, or inhale, push the hips up. Exhale here. Inhale, coming up onto the crown of the head. Exhale here. Inhale, push the floor away, lifting up into wheel. Squeeze glutes, lift ribs. Exhale, crown of the head comes down. Back of the head. Scapulas, hips, and hands. Good. Bring the feet a little wider than the mat. Let the knees roll into one another. Take a resting breath here. Let the knees rock over to the left and to the right. To the left and pause, bringing the arms out into T-shape or cactus. Bring the knees through center, take them over to the opposite side. Bring the knees through center. Wrap and squeeze the knees one at a time in towards the armpits. And draw them in, squeeze them in. And then exhale, lengthen the legs out wider than the mat. Bring the hands down by your side or onto the belly. Take your final resting breaths here. Bring movement back to fingers and toes. When you're ready, roll to one side. Come up to seated. Keeping the eyes closed just for a couple more moments. Bring the hands to the chest. Namaste.